This is the third and final category of stem changing verbs. Luckily for you, the same exact rules apply as your first two categories. The only difference is that different letters are going to replace the ones like O to UE and E to IE. This time it's just an E to an I. Let's do a quick review of our first and second categories of stem changing verbs. Remember the first category from a few weeks ago, the stem change was an E to IE. So you have the verb empezar. The first thing you will do is find the stem, which is empez, and then you will make the stem change. So it becomes empiez. And the second step is to add the right endings. In this case, this is a first conjugation verb that ends in AR, so you will add those endings. Empiezo, empiezas, empieza. Empezamos, empezáis, empiezan. Remember, again, nosotros and vosotros forms do not stem change. Your second category was verbs that stem change from O to UE. Again, you're going to find the stem of the verb. For example, poder, the stem is pod, and then you're going to make the stem change, pued. Add the right endings. In this case, it is an ER verb, so you'll add those endings, puedo, puedes, puede, and then as you see, the third item on the list is you're not going to stem change nosotros or vosotros, so podemos, podéis, and then pueden. For the third category of this module, the same exact rules apply. This category, however, will change the E in the stem to an I. And for this category, all the verbs are third conjugation verbs, meaning they end in IR. First, you'll find the stem and make the stem change. So, for example, we have pedir. The stem is bid, and then you will remove the IR and you will get bid, right? And after you, then you're going to stem change that verb from E to I, pid. And then you're going to add the third conjugation endings. So, and then of course, as you see above, you're not going to stem change in nosotros and vosotros. So the example I have here is pedir, which means to ask for or to order. Yo pido, tú pides, usted, él, ella pide. Nosotros pedimos, vosotros pedís, and then back to the stem change, ustedes, ellos, and ellas piden. Of course, you have a few exceptions, spelling exceptions with these verbs. For example, conseguir and seguir, which are two verbs that look very much alike and conjugate alike, but have different meanings. Conseguir is to obtain something, but something that's kind of difficult to obtain, and seguir is to follow or to continue. These two verbs have an irregularity in the yo form, but the rest of the conjugations are completely normal for E to I stem changing verbs. For reasons of pronunciation, you're going to drop the U in the yo form for each verb. So if you follow the rules above, then you would get consigo, but that's going to become consigo. And the same thing with seguir. Sigo, and the U drops, and it's sigo. The rest of the conjugations, like I say, are completely normal. Tú sigues, usted, él, ella sigue. And then again, you're not going to stem change over here. Nosotros seguimos, vosotros seguís. And then back to your stem change. Ustedes, ellos, and ellas siguen. Decir is another one that has a slight irregularity. The yo form is digo, but the rest of the forms are going to stem change E to I, just like we see above. Yo digo, tú dices. Usted, él, and ella dice. Nosotros, back to the original stem, decimos. Vosotros decís. And then stem change again. Ustedes, ellos, and ellas dicen. A lot of things that happen with, a lot of times what happens with decir is it's followed by que, which in this case means that. So you might say, digo que la clase es interesante, which means I say that the class is interesting.